We're time now for a look at the day's top business news, starting with this week's decision from the World Trade Organization, giving the U.S. the green light to impose tariffs on $7.5 billion of European products. Brian Quinn is here from our business desk with the latest. Hey, Brian.
Well, Wasim, a trade dispute that began with aircraft is quickly spreading in scope. The WTO's ruling that Europe provided Airbus with illegal subsidies means that Washington is cleared to slap tariffs on a wide range of EU products. And the food and drink sectors are squarely in the firing line, with American consumers looking at paying $5 more per kilo for Italian cheese. Businesses on both sides of the Atlantic are bracing for a big hit to their bottom line. Yaneli has more.
Fine Foods has been bringing Italian products to the United States for over 100 years. But now with a 25% tariff on cheese and ham imports, the current owner fears the worst.
We went through many disasters in being in business for over 100 years. We went through depression. We went through 2 world wars. We went through storms. This might be the biggest disaster of them all.
14,000 specialist food retailers and the tens of thousands of people who work for them could be affected. Across the Atlantic, exporters too warn that a rise in prices could turn away consumers, and it'll be businesses that take the hit. One Italian cheesemaking consortium estimates that Parmesan products will cost $5 more per kilogram.
It's a severe hit on our sector. This is why our lobby has asked for negotiations to restart, to put an end to the trade war.
Wednesday, the World Trade Organization greenlit Washington's plans to tax a wide range of European products, such as olives, mussels and wine. This over illegal state subsidies given to European aviation giant Airbus. Washington has the threat of stronger tariffs up its sleeve, as well as the possibility to include Europe's auto industry. Brussels, meanwhile, is counting on an upcoming WTO decision in a similar case against Boeing that could open the door to retaliatory tariffs.
Well, next, Facebook is under pressure from governments around the world not to roll out end-to-end encryption on its Messenger app. Officials from the US, the UK, and Australia have signed an open letter calling on the social network to make sure law enforcement agencies have some means of accessing private messages so that criminals can't hide their activities. In a Q&A session streamed on Facebook Live, CEO Mark Zuckerberg defended the decision to encrypt amid questions over whether it could help enable child exploitation. Zuckerberg says encryption is critical to freedom of expression and a key demand of a public that's increasingly aware of privacy concerns.
I still think that the equities are generally in favor of moving towards end-to-end encryption. You know, the values of privacy, not only is that what people tell us every day that they want, it's what, as I said a second ago, the top messaging app in the United States is iMessage. It's end-to-end encrypted. People want that.
Checking in on the markets now. Asian indexes mixed on Friday. The Nikkei in Tokyo managed to break out of negative territory to gain around 0.33% at the close. Shanghai exchanges closed on Friday for China's national holiday, but Hong Kong, though, down nearly 1.4% as city executive Carrie Lam tries to get a handle on the political situation there. Kospi in Seoul closing down just over 0.5%. Here in Europe, markets opened in positive territory as investors look ahead to the latest U.S. jobs report due out today. Many expecting another rate cut from the Fed coming soon. All major indexes are up in the neighborhood of 0.1 to 0.2% at the open. Next, MGM Resorts International has reached a settlement to resolve hundreds of lawsuits over the deadliest mass shooting in U.S. history. Just over 2 years ago, a gunman opened fire on an outdoor country music festival from the window of his suite at MGM's Mandalay Bay Casino in Las Vegas. 58 people were killed, hundreds injured. The gunman had managed to bring nearly 24 firearms and thousands of rounds of ammunition into the hotel in the days leading up to the massacre. The settlement fund will pay out between $735 and $800 million to victims and families. Lawyers for the plaintiffs say they hope a measure of financial accountability will change the political calculus on tackling gun violence in the U.S.
As we all know, there's an epidemic of mass shootings in this country. This is the first time a company has stepped up and paid the victims. And unfortunately, it seems like the only thing that drives change in this country is money. And so now that we have companies realizing they could be financially responsible for these shootings, we're hoping that steps are going to be taken and pressure is going to be applied to the right government people to stop this madness.
And finally, for business, aside from the security line, paying extra for checked bags, etc., the biggest hassle of flying is often just getting to the airport. Well, enter Uber. The ride-hailing firm has opened its Ubercopter offer, previously available only to premium users, to regular riders in New York. Customers can book an 8-minute flight between Lower Manhattan and John F. Kennedy Airport for around $225. Catch, of course, is that while the chopper ride itself is only 8 minutes, factoring in getting to the helipad, waiting for other riders, it's actually not that much quicker than taking the subway, which I believe has been calculated at around $14 maybe.
Also, $225 for 8 minutes. I mean, I'll take the subway.
It's a nice view, but that's a pretty, it's a pretty pricey ticket.
Just
that's
mainly
for
for bragging rights. All right, Brian, thank you very much.